Alrighty, and we're back with another video. Let me just give you a little reminder here of our new series that we started, Rome the Great Whore. We will continue with that series. I'm going to read again another chapter out of Vatican Assassins. But as you can see how shadow banned the channel is, we got only 43 views here in the first video, 78 views on the premiere, the first one we did. Part 2 got 61 views. Part 4 the other day got 57 views. And Part 3 got 68 views. And then Rome the Great Whore, Jesuits Hidden Hand behind Lincoln's assassination. And then Rome the Great Whore, the Jesuits Hidden Hand behind Lincoln's assassination got only 35 views. Now, praise the Lord for using these videos over on BitChute. And I want to give a shout out to this channel called The War Against You. This person has been sharing my videos. As you can see, 416 views. Rome the Great Whore ushering the New World Order, and the puppet masters behind the CIA has got 426 views. As you can see, I'm so glad that it's reaching his audience right here. You know, it's quite a large channel with 4,000 subscribers. You can see this is my video, and he also linked my channel, so I am very grateful for that. As you can see, linked my channel. I got 104 views. I uploaded this yesterday. On Part 4 here, I got 96 views on Rome the Great Whore, the Jesuit in Hand behind Lincoln's assassination. 105 views on my channel, Rome the Great Whore. Part 3, ushering in a New World Order. Part 2, it's got 237 views. Part 1, 348 views, and the puppet masters behind the CIA has got 132 views. So, if you have not subscribed to my channel on BitChute yet, make sure you subscribe. I only have 105 subscribers so far, but last week there was only 80. So, since this guy uploaded my videos, I've been having more subscribers and people have been checking it out. And again, there's no censorship here, so if anything happens to YouTube, we will be over here. So once again, a shout out goes to the War Against You channel. Thank you so much for mirroring my videos, and to everybody else that wants to do this, feel free to use these videos. Now, we will read from Vatican Assassins, Chapter 16, The Jesuits, from 1773 to 1776. You might ask yourself why I chose this chapter, because there's a lot of confusion. With who runs the world. Is it the Jews? Is it the Jesuits? And a lot of people are fighting over it. People don't like it. People don't like this history because it's the truth. If you go on the channel, on that guy's channel on BitChute, the person we just shouted out, his channel, you will see all the hate in the comment section. They really don't like it, but praise the Lord. And he's using it, and we will keep on using it to show the real truth about who really runs the world. And that's why I decided to read this chapter. Allied with Masonic, Jewish labor, Zionist, House of Rothschild, creating the Bavarian Illuminati, Jesuit Adam Spartacus Weishaupt, Jesuit slaves of the Pope revolt against Rome. So let's go. We're going to read chapter 16. Page 398. Let's go. Chapter 16, The Jesuits. 1773 to 1776. Allied with the Masonic, Jewish labor, Zionist House of Rothschild, creating the Bavarian Illuminati, Jesuit Adam Spartacus Weishaupt, Jesuit slaves of the Pope revolt against Rome. Von Hammer, in his History of the Assassins, a branch of development of the Illuminati, points out singular parallels between the teaching of Loyola and the Assassins. The Jesuit order has revived the Assassins in creating the intolerant and fanatical modern-day sect within Islam known as Osama bin Laden's Wahhabism. Having been embraced by tribal chief Abdul Aziz ibn Saud in 1744, and now since formally established by King Abdul Aziz ibn Saud in 1932 via one of his British MI6 courtiers, Knight of Malta Sir John Philby, is the state of religion of Saudi Arabia. Nor can it be said that drawing attention to this parallelism is a mere Protestant prejudice, since the first charge was made by the priest of Alcala in the very lifetime of the founder of the Jesuits, M.F. Cusack, 1896. The constitutions of the Jesuit order contain 6 impediments against reception into the order, the first of which is Jewish descent up to the 4th generation from 1593 to 1946. General Council of the order have many times proclaimed that Jewish descent must be considered as an impurity, scandal, dishonor, and infamy. Suarez, note the Jesuit theologian, also states that Jewish descent is an impurity of such indelible character that it is sufficient to prevent admission into the order. My head was spinning as I found out the Jesuit general was closely linked to the Illuminati in London. Alberto Rivera, 1979, Spanish-American ex-Jesuit priest. In 1814, Breckham drew up his great report on the secret societies of Germany, which is of so much importance in throwing light on the workings of the modern revolutionary movement that extracts must be given here at length. His testimony gains greater weight from the vagueness he displays on the origins of Illuminism and the role it had played before the French Revolution. It is evident therefore that he had not taken his ideas from John Robison or Jesuit Abbé Augustin de Baruel, to whom he never once refers, but from information gleaned on the spot in Germany. The opening paragraphs finally refute the fallacy concerning the extinction of the sect in 1786, the very same year the Supreme Council of the 33rd degree was established in Germany. The oldest and most dangerous association is that which is generally known under the denomination of the Illuminati, and of which the foundation goes back towards the middle of the last century. Bavaria was its cradle. It is said that it had for founders several chiefs of the order of the Jesuits, Bavaria being the most powerful Jesuit stronghold north of the Alps. Nestor Webster, 1924, pro-Jesuit English historian. Illuminati was founded on May 1st, 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, professor of canon law at Ingolstadt, an openly ex-Jesuit but secretly still a member of the order, retaining his chair at the university until 1785. The name originally assumed for the order was the Society of the Perfectibilists, the Jesuits also calling their order the Society of the Perfect, so designated about Lyons, the Jesuit conspiracy, the secret plan of the order in 1848, page 183. The entire subserviency of its members who on admission were pledged to blind obedience to the orders of their superiors, as are the Jesuits, was secured by a strict system of secret confessions and monthly reports as practiced in the order, checked by mutual espionage. Individual Jesuits allowed only to be in groups of 3, which groups of 3 abreast when walking and marching composed the long black line. Special attention being given to the enlistment of young men of wealth, rank, and social importance, also practiced by the Jesuits, as in the case of Fordham University Jesuit Avery Cardinal Dulles, the son of Eisenhower's Secretary of State John Foster Dulles. The order was considerably influenced by the intimate relations which were established with Masonic lodges in Munich and Freising, both cities later being Heinrich Himmler's Nazi SS strongholds in 1780. About the time, an important impulse was given to its prosperity in the middle and northern Germany by the ambition and energy of the newly acquired member, Masonic Jesuit temporal coadjutor Baron Adolf von Knigge, who had his headquarters at Frankfurt on the Main. It was to him that the society was indebted for the extremely elaborate constitution, never however actually realized, according to which the entire membership was divided into 3 great classes, in the first of which were to be included the novices, like the Jesuit novices, the Minervals, and the lesser Illuminati Jesuit scholastics, while the second consisted of Freemasons, ordinary Scotch and Scotch Knights, the Jesuits having previously written the first 25 degrees of the Scottish Rite from the Parisian College of Clermont in 1754, and the third, the mystery class, as are those select Jesuits under extreme oath of the 4th vow, was subdivided into 2 grades of priests and regents, like the Jesuit temporal coadjutors, and of Magus and King, like the Jesuit temporal coadjutors. All correspondence was conducted in cipher, as did the Jesuits for centuries prior to the perfection of the Black Pope's international intelligence community. To increase the mystification, towns and provinces were invested with new and altogether arbitrary designations, the Jesuit Superior General having divided up the world into provinces now composing 10 assistancies. A rupture which took place between Weishaupt and Knigge, ordered by the Jesuit general in 1784, greatly accelerated the public expression of a counter feeling of suspicion and dislike which had been slowly gathering strength, as intended, so as to distance the Illuminati from the Bavarian Jesuits. And in 1785, nearly 4 years before the beginning of the Orders French Revolution, the Bavarian government, controlled by the Jesuits through the Bavarian Roman Catholic Wittelsbach dynasty, issued an edict which proved fatal to the order in Bavaria. Many of its members were imprisoned or compelled to leave their homes. Weishaupt himself was deprived of his chair at the university, indicating that the Society of Jesus was involved in creating the Illuminati for nearly 10 years and banished the kingdom. Weishaupt to become known as the Patriarch of the Jacobins. The Jesuits, now formally suppressed by the Pope, were allied with Frederick II the Great of Prussia and Catherine II the Great of Russia. The Jesuit general was in control of high-level Scottish Rite Freemasonry, Grand Orient Freemasonry, and now sought an alliance with the Masonic Baron of the House of Rothschild. To accomplish this, he chose a Jesuit who was a German Gentile, not a Jew, by race, and a Freemason by association, Adam Weishaupt. That Adam Weishaupt was not the originator of the Luciferian satanic system he named Illuminism will be already apparent to every reader of the present work. How did these Oriental methods penetrate to the Bavarian professor? According to certain writers, through the Jesuits. The fact that Weishaupt had been brought up by this order has provided the enemies of the Jesuits with the argument that they were the secret inspirers of the Illuminati, as indeed they were. That Weishaupt did, however, draw a certain extent on Jesuit methods of training is recognized even by Abbe Baruel, himself a Jesuit, a third-degree Freemason and influential historian of the French Revolution, who, quoting Masonic Mirabeau, says that Weishaupt admired above all those laws that regime of the Jesuits which under one head, the Jesuit general, made men dispersed over the universe tend towards the same goal. The Jesuit Adam Weishaupt was duly familiar with the regicide doctrines of Suarez, Molina, Mariana, and Escobar. He was also a brilliant instructor of canon law, including the Evil Council of Trent at the Jesuit College in Bavaria. We read, from the Jesuit College at Ingolstadt is said to have issued the sect known as the Illuminati of Bavaria, founded by Adam Weishaupt. Its nominal founder, however, seems to have played a subordinate though conspicuous role in the organization of the sect. With Jesuit General Ricci's creation of the Bavarian Illuminati through his obedient soldier Adam Weishaupt, it was determined that Weishaupt would be given a new name unique to the purpose of the general's new order, and later openly joined the Munich Lodge. That name was known in ancient Roman history as Spartacus. According to anti-Jew French historian and Masonic Jesuit Abbe Augustin de Baruel, Weishaupt then spent 5 years thinking out a system which he founded under the name of the Illuminati May 1st, 1776, and assumed the illuminated name of Spartacus. And in 1777, Weishaupt was initiated into first degree of the lodge, Theodor de Bonconseil, in the Jesuit haven of Munich. But who was the historical Spartacus, and what did he do that so merited the use of his name as an alias for Weishaupt? The answer to this question reveals just who in fact were the real players behind the Illuminati. Were they Jews or Jesuits? Spartacus died in 71 BC, a Thracian leader of Roman slaves of several nationalities in the gladiatorial war from 73 to 71 against Rome. Indeed, Adam Weishaupt was the visible Gentile leader of the gladiatorial war against the Roman papacy. But who were these gladiators, these slaves, having risen up in rebellion and now warring against their master, the papal Caesar of Rome? I, now in the presence of Almighty God, do declare and swear that His Holiness the Pope is Christ Vice-Regent, that I will help, assist, and advise all or any of His Holiness agents in any place where I shall be, and do my utmost to extirpate the heretical Protestant or liberal doctrines, and to destroy all their pretended powers, legal or otherwise, gladiators, that I will have no opinion or will of my own or any mental reservation whatsoever, even as a corpse or cadaver, but will unhesitatingly obey each and every command that I may receive from my superiors in the militia of the Pope, as I at any time may be directed so to do by any agent of the Pope or superior of the Brotherhood of the Holy Faith of the Society of Jesus. The Jesuits, not the Masonic Jews, were and are the foremost gladiatorial slaves of the Roman Caesar. the Pope. Because of their suppression by their master, Weishaupt led a revolt of former Jesuit slaves from 1776 to 1814, nearly 40 years. Thus, the name Spartacus was a perfect description of the man who led the Jesuits, Illuminati. Dear truth seeker, Masonic Jews always play a subordinate, though conspicuous role when used by the Jesuit general. Such was the case of the birth of the Illuminati with Rothschild in 1776, the financing of the French Revolution, the Napoleonic Wars with Rothschild 1789 to 1815, the creation of the modern communism with Marx 1848, the first head of the Federal Reserve Bank with Paul M. Warburg 1913, and later Alan Greenspan 2006, the creation of the Union, the Soviet Socialist Republics USSR via the Bolshevik Revolution with Trotsky and Lenin 1917, the financing and building of the USSR with Jacob H. Schiff and Armand Hammer 1920 to 1980, AIG's Maurice Greenberg 2006, the Jewish Holocaust of Europe with Rudolf Kastner 1939 to 1945, the birth of Labor Zionist Israel with Theodor Herzl 1948, the cover-up of the Masonic Kennedy assassination with the Warren Commissions, Arlen Specter and the Single Bullet Theory 1964, and the continual high treason against the people of the American Empire by Henry A. Kissinger. Now an advisor to Pope Benedict XVI, and whom the Greek Cypriots, as a result of the CIA-induced invasion, murder, rape and plunder of Orthodox Cyprus by Muslim Turkey, have surnamed Henry Killinger 1972 to the present 2007. These are high-level Masonic Jews who adhere to the evil Babylonian Talmud of Judaism, the twin sister of the evil Council of Trent of Jesuitism, and have betrayed their own Jewish race, contributing to the atrocities committed by the Jesuit order, including the Jewish Holocaust. The same Masonic racially Jewish labor Zionists with their secret brethren, the Masonic religiously Jewish Talmudic rabbinical leaders, will one day betray the holy people by making Jerusalem an national city and by entering into a treaty with the papal Caesar, the prince that shall come, Daniel 9:26. For if the pre-Talmudic Jewish leaders had no king but Caesar in Messiah's day, why should we be surprised to see these same men serving the papal Caesar of our day? May those elect racial Jews today in Israel awake to the good news of Yeshua, the racially Jewish, Talmud-rejecting, Torah-believing Messiah before it's too late. On May 1st, 1776, the Order of the Illuminati was officially founded at the Jesuit College of Ingolstadt, in the old Jesuit stronghold of Bavaria, from which the Sons of Loyola had ignited the sanguinary 30 Years' War. The company would now use the Jewish House of Rothschild to finance the French Revolution, which would in turn enfranchise the Jewish people in 1791, furthering the illusion that the Jews were the real culprits behind the upheaval in France. Rothschild would also finance the rise of Napoleon the Freemason with his Jesuit-trained advisor Abbe Sieyès, in spite of the historical writings of Jesuit Abbe Barrel, who blamed the Rothschilds and Freemasonry for the French Revolution. It was the Society of Jesus that used these very tools to carry out the revolution and punish the Roman Catholic monarchs who dared to expel the Sons of Loyola from their dominions and insisted upon their suppression by Franciscan Pope of their choosing, Clement XIV. The Jesuits, having been expelled from the Spanish Empire, found refuge in Corsica. From there they raised up the great Masonic Avenger Napoleon Bonaparte I. In the early 40s, during World War II, nearing the end of the Second 30 Years' War, the Jesuits would again use their Rothschild, Illuminati, and 33rd degree Shrine of Freemasonry to punish two nations, having dared to expel the order from their borders. In conjunction with the Rothschild Vatican bankers of England, they would use their Federal Reserve Bank to finance the building of a huge British and American aerial war machine. The Lancaster bombers, B-17s and B-29s, would be used to destroy the peoples of these two nations, which countries, after the war, would be rebuilt according to the religious, commercial, and military blueprints as implemented by the Masonic agents of their unseen master, the Black Pope. In carrying out the plan of destroying the peoples of these two nations, the Jesuits would again use high-level 33rd degree and Shrine of Freemasonry on both sides. Their tools on the American side were Masons General Douglas MacArthur in the firebombing of Japan and General George C. Marshall using Dwight D. Eisenhower in the annihilation of Germany. On the Japanese side was the Masonic Emperor Hirohito, who along with the 33rd degree Masonic Communist Franklin D. Roosevelt, using his Office of Naval Intelligence, aided in the Orders plot to bring Japan into a fratricidal war with America. The details of the emperor's criminal complicity have been provided by David Bergamini in his 1971 groundbreaking 2-volume masterpiece, Japan's Imperial Conspiracy: How Emperor Hirohito led Japan into war against the West. On the German side was the Masonic Hjalmar Horace Greeley Schott, who, as the head of the Warburg Rothschild Reichsbank, financed the buildings of Hitler's massive war machine to the exclusion of long-range bombers. American high-level Freemasons Henry Ford and Thomas J. Watson further aided Hitler, yet the Führer's Jesuitically deceptive open policy was anti-Masonic, blaming the International Eternal Jew as the secret master of world Freemasonry. Ford provided the plans to mechanize the German army, and Watson provided the IBM punch card system so necessary in implementing the Order's final solution to the Jewish question throughout Europe and the USSR. With the Order readmitted into Japan in 1865 and Germany in 1917, the Jesuit general would centralize all political power in Tokyo via the Jesuit-advised court of the young Emperor Meiji, the grandfather of Emperor Hirohito. True to form, the Father General would later centralize all political power in Berlin after the fall of the Constitution of Weimar Republic via that Roman Catholic creation of Munich's papal nuncio Eugenio Pacelli. The creation would be the Masonic Adolf Hitler. These armies would then be used as the initial first strike, swords of the church, one in the Far East, the other in the Western Europe, North Africa, Eastern Europe, and the USSR. Once the two Axis swords of Pope Pius XII would finish their calculated killing pursuant to the Council of Trent, the Japanese and the German peoples, now hated by all nations for the murderous sins of their governments, just like us Americans today in 2007, would be invaded, raped, killed, plundered, and occupied. This calculated punishment of the Japanese and German peoples would be due to the treachery and betrayal of their own fascist governments controlled by Japanese and German papal knights subject to the Vicar of Christ and his Jesuit Curia, whose truthful doctrines of German and Japanese racial supremacy over other European and Oriental Gentiles, evidenced by their superior cultures in the cultivation of the arts, education, and martial prowess, were perverted into a justification to murder Orthodox Slavs, Buddhist Chinese along with white missionary Protestants in their midst, and the intellectually superior Jews, all these peoples being condemned by the wicked Council of Trent. And why was this done, dear truth seeker? Japan had expelled the Jesuits for over 250 years and Germany had banished them for 45 years. This is called vengeance with a fury. This is called payback without mercy, without regret, and without remorse. Indeed, these paybacks were previews of the biblical, unquenchable, eternal hell, an atomic, mushrooming, and firebombing hell, carried out by the Pope's Masonic agents of the Engineer Corps of Hell, the Black Robes of Ignatius Loyola. Jesuit coadjutor Adam Weishaupt, 1748 to 1830, 1790s, founder of the Jesuit-styled Order of the Illuminati, 1776. Born in Ingolstadt, Germany, in the heart of the Wittelsbach dynasty, Roman Catholic Bavaria, from which originated the Order's 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648, Adam Weishaupt, the white German Gentile, was educated by the Jesuits. In 1775, he became Ingolstadt University's professor of the canon law. The expelled Jesuits haven't held that chair for the previous 90 years, since Pope Clement XIV's bull of suppression was enforced throughout his Holy Roman Empire. The order had been expelled from Roman Catholic Bavaria. From the once Jesuit University of Ingolstadt, Weishaupt established the Order of the Illuminati in 1776, joining Munich's Lodge Theodore Good Counsel in 1777. He united the magnificent financial empire of the Kabbalistic Masonic Jewish House of Rothschild, the guardians of the Vatican Treasury, with the opulence of the international anti-Jewish race, primarily white Gentile Masonic/Luciferian Society of Jesus. Having illuminized continental Freemasonry, which had expelled the plotting Jesuits from Portugal, France, and Spain, thus submitting Illuminized Freemasonry to the Black Pope via the Council of Wilhelmsbad. Spartacus Weishaupt led the company's war on the Pope's Vatican Empire and Holy Roman Empire from 1789 to 1815. To deceive the historian, Weishaupt openly deplored the Jesuits, though he had patterned his new order after the society. Coadjutor Heinrich Himmler would do the same, openly denouncing the very Jesuit order after which his order of the SS was designed. Secretly, both the Masonic Illuminati and the Masonic Thule Society were extensions of the Church militant, it obediently fulfilling the will of its master, the Black Pope.